TimberFork is a creative studio, and we focus on a lot of different things from design to build. We run the production pottery studio out of here. I came up with the name TimberFork as I was searching for ideas for the business, and I started thinking about inspiring things from my childhood, and one of those things was climbing this big cottonwood tree in my parents' backyard. And I would sit in the fork of the tree, and I started thinking of how I could incorporate that, and TimberFork was born. So I built the studio to house a project that was restoring a 1958 Shasta Airflyte travel trailer, and to house many other creative endeavors. Generally speaking, everything is made by hand. Potter's tools can be made from a variety of materials, or found even. I was just working with a Japanese potter who came in, and his tools look very rudimentary compared to what we get. I do prefer working with the tools that I've made myself. We use a sponge and a wooden tool and a needle tool and a wire. As far as the process goes of making pottery, we get all of our clay locally. Right now we're kind of dabbling. We really like this dark brown clay we've been using. It provides like a really rich, earthy feel. However, we're pretty well known for our Redware, and I like the vintage aesthetic that it provides, and it looks really good with that clean white glaze, and it kind of gets that nostalgic feel to the mug that we're going for. We start on the wedging table, and we cut it up into pieces and make sure the clay is very workable. We really focus on preparing the clay, a lot of testing. We certainly have made some mistakes along the way and have learned from those. Just a lot of trial and error. I like to think of working with the clay as somewhat of a dance. You have to center your mind before you can center the clay. Working with clay can be extremely relaxing once you get past the hard parts, which is centering. So if you center your mind and take a deep breath, and you can breathe that into the clay, and then you just have to work. As calming as that sounds, a lot of what we do though is throw a ball down, make the pot, take it off. Throw the ball down, make the pot, take it off. So to keep the mugs consistent, we measure everything out by weight, and then the process is really just very repetitive, the same motion over and over. And depending on what we're making, we measure it out into very specific sizes and weights. We generally have a good rule of thumb now with our experience to know how much clay that we'll need. And the other unique thing about them is everything is one-off. Even though we may make things look the same, every single mug feels a little bit different to each person because everybody's hand sizes are different. Even though in the factory they make all the handles exactly the same, not everybody's hands are the same. We want to make a quality product that people can feel that somebody's heart and soul went into the making of the product. And then we go through the process. So we'll slap the clay down on the wheel, get it centered up, open up the vessel, pull the vessel up, whatever we got to do, cut it off. And from there, we then wait for it to dry. It becomes bone dry. Then we load it in the kiln for the bisque firing, which is the first firing. Then out of the kiln it comes, and we apply glaze, and then we fire it again. And one thing we do here at TimberFork, which we're kind of known for, is customizing the pots with an iron transfer decal. We print on something called a water slide decal, and it's got to have just the right iron content in the ink. The ink transfers to the water slide decal. We take that out, we soak it in water, and then it just slides onto the work, and then we have to fire it again. And then it's the iron content in the ink that leaves the image behind on the mug, embedded into the glaze. Like anything, pottery is a skill that can be learned like riding a bike, and you can learn it and come back to it years later and you'll still have that skill. Austin is a former student of mine, and now he works for me. I learn a lot from Austin here in the studio. This guy is a wizard at making mugs and spiral wedging, which is a form of Japanese preparation of the clay, and he's mastered it. He's really good at it. TimberFork, to me, is a creative studio. This is just a place for me to come and let loose of all those things that I bring home from work and then just creatively let it all out. It's where I hang out with my son. It's where he thrives creatively. It's where I connect with people. There's a lot more than just making pottery that goes on here. If I could have TimberFork become something, it's just a creative entity that is putting good into the world through making. I want to live in a thriving creative community. I believe that this leads to innovation and allows people to be free thinkers and maybe more accepting of others around us. I think creativity helps people become empathetic. That's what I want to see in the world, so that's what I want TimberFork to put out there.